A man earned $16 million from casinos, yet he never gambled in his life nor set foot in a casino before. He masterminded an audacious operation that went unnoticed by the most vigilant casino security teams for years. Who was this man, and how did he manage to deceive the world's largest casinos without getting caught? This is the thrilling story of Louis Colavecchio, a craftsman turned criminal mastermind who almost got away with one of the most ingenious casino scams in history. Let's understand the story from the very beginning. Born in Providence, Rhode Island in 1942, Louis Colavecchio was a normal man with a great ability. Colavecchio, also known as the Coin, was a famous master jeweler and craftsman who was known for his detailed and accurate work. For 27 years, he worked hard to make one-of-a-kind, highly sought-after jewelry by hand. He looked like his life was going in a good direction, but a bad turn of events would bring him into the world of crime. Colavecchio retired when he was 51 years old so he could enjoy the fruits of his labor. Unfortunately, retirement didn't make him happy. He was unhappy and didn't have any goals. He missed the sense of meaning that his work had given him. Feeling like this, a friend's casual idea of a road trip to Foxwoods Casino in September 1993 changed everything. The visit to Foxwoods Casino was meant to be a fun distraction, but for Colavecchio, it became an obsession. As he watched his friends play the slot machines, he felt out of place. Gambling held no interest for him. Yet when his friend handed him some tokens and encouraged him to give it a try, Colavecchio's focus shifted from the game to the tokens themselves. He admired the design, weight, and feel of the tokens, and as a skilled craftsman, he saw a challenge in replicating them. The idea of creating counterfeit tokens fascinated him. It was a test of his skills and ingenuity. Could he make tokens that were indistinguishable from the real ones? This question ignited a passion that would drive him into the heart of one of the most daring scams in casino history. Colavecchio's curiosity quickly escalated into a full-scale counterfeiting operation. He invested his retirement savings into purchasing the necessary equipment, including an automated industrial press and an electrical discharge machine, or EDM. The EDM alone cost $115,000, but Colavecchio was undeterred. He meticulously studied the tokens, analyzing their composition and design. He knew that replicating their appearance wasn't enough. The tokens needed to be identical in weight, material, and even the sound they made when they hit the ground. The first attempts were failures. Despite the tokens looking perfect to the naked eye, the slot machines rejected them. Colavecchio was devastated but determined. He discovered that the genuine Foxwoods tokens were made from a unique alloy called HS2, a mixture of copper, zinc, and nickel-silver. Finding a similar alloy was a challenge, but he eventually located a close match used by a cutlery manufacturer. After months of trial and error, Colavecchio finally succeeded in creating a flawless counterfeit token. It was time to test his creation in the real world. Louis Colavecchio's journey into the world of high-stakes crime was anything but impulsive. After months of perfecting his counterfeit tokens, he was ready to test his creations in the most secure gambling establishments in the world. Accompanied by his girlfriend Julie, Colavecchio embarked on a meticulously planned mission that would exploit the weaknesses of casino security and showcase his extraordinary craftsmanship. Their first destination was Atlantic City, a bustling hub of gambling activity. Colavecchio and Julie enter the casino, blending seamlessly with the throngs of gamblers. They didn't rush. Instead, they spent hours casually playing slot machines, mimicking the behaviors of typical patrons. Julie's role was crucial. While Colavecchio operated the machines, she kept a vigilant eye on their surroundings, ensuring they didn't attract undue attention. The first trial run was a nerve-wracking experience. Colavecchio inserted his counterfeit tokens into a slot machine and held his breath. The machine accepted the tokens without hesitation, validating months of painstaking effort. As the tokens were converted into credits, they played and won modest amounts, careful not to trigger any alarms or attract suspicion. Over the next few hours, they continued this method, gradually increasing their winnings. By the end of their first successful run, they had accumulated $50,000 in genuine money. The sense of triumph was immense, but so was the realization of the risks involved. What if they got caught? What if the tokens were detected? These questions loomed large, but the lure of easy money was too strong to resist. Encouraged by their initial success, Colavecchio and Julie expanded their operation. They visited multiple casinos across the country, from the glitzy establishments of Las Vegas to the more modest venues in Reno. Each casino presented a new challenge, but Colavecchio's tokens continued to pass every test. Their careful, calculated approach ensured they remained under the radar. One critical aspect of their strategy was the avoidance of patterns. They never stayed in one casino for too long and always kept their cash outs within reasonable limits to avoid triggering any alarms. Colavecchio's understanding of casino operations and his attention to detail played a crucial role in their success. They made sure to vary the times of their visits and the amounts they gambled, creating a facade of normalcy. Despite the inherent dangers, Colavecchio found the thrill of the heist intoxicating. The adrenaline rush of outsmarting sophisticated security systems and walking away with substantial sums of money became an addiction. However, the stakes were incredibly high. A single mistake could lead to their downfall. How long could they continue this charade? How much money would be enough? These questions gnawed at Colavecchio's mind, but he pushed them aside, driven by the allure of his perfect heist. Each successful run reinforced his belief in his abilities and the effectiveness of his tokens. Yet, deep down, he knew that their luck could run out at any moment. The perfect heist wasn't just about the money. It was about the challenge, the skill, and the thrill of beating the system. For Colavecchio, it was the ultimate test of his craftsmanship and cunning. Louis Colavecchio knew that attracting attention could be his downfall, so he crafted a plan that balanced audacity with caution, allowing him to exploit casino vulnerabilities without raising suspicion. Now, one might wonder how a man could continuously cash out counterfeit tokens without getting caught. The key lay in Colavecchio's understanding of casino operations and human psychology. He realized that hitting a single casino for a large sum of money would undoubtedly draw attention. Instead, he opted for a more dispersed approach, targeting multiple casinos and cashing out smaller amounts. This strategy minimized the risk of detection and allowed him to accumulate millions over time. Colavecchio was acutely aware of the importance of blending in. He and his girlfriend Julie would play the part of typical gamblers, spending long hours at the slot machines to make their wins appear legitimate. They knew that sudden large cash outs would be suspicious, so they carefully timed their activities to avoid scrutiny. This meant enduring long sessions of gambling to slowly and steadily convert counterfeit tokens into real money. But how did they avoid detection by the ever-watchful eyes of casino security? Colavecchio was a master of observation. He studied the layout of each casino, noting the locations of surveillance cameras and the routines of security personnel. He and Julie took great care to avoid being caught on camera engaging in any suspicious behavior. They moved discreetly, always mindful of their actions and surroundings. Moreover, Colavecchio's technical skills played a crucial role in their success. The counterfeit tokens he produced were nearly indistinguishable from the real ones. He understood that even the smallest inconsistency could arouse suspicion, so he ensured that his tokens matched the weight, material, and even sound of genuine tokens. This attention to detail made it difficult for casino staff to detect the fakes, even during routine inspections. Colavecchio's network also played a significant role. He enlisted the help of his old friend Al, a skilled die maker, to assist in the large-scale production of counterfeit tokens. With Al's expertise, they were able to produce tokens with remarkable precision and consistency. This partnership allowed Colavecchio to maintain a steady supply of counterfeit tokens without compromising on quality. But how many times could they return to the same casinos before someone noticed something was amiss? These questions loomed over their heads, adding an element of suspense to their operation. Colavecchio knew that the longer they continued, the higher the risk of getting caught. In the end, it was this careful balance of audacity and caution that allowed Colavecchio to stay under the radar for so long. His out-of-the-box planning, attention to detail, and ability to blend in seamlessly with other gamblers made him one of the most successful casino counterfeiters in history. However, as the saying goes, all good things must come to an end, and for Colavecchio, the end was drawing nearer with each passing day. Colavecchio and his team planned carefully, but they couldn't stay hidden forever. Caesar's Palace in Atlantic City was the first place where trouble started to show. An alert worker saw that the casino had an extra $24,000 worth of $10 pieces, which was a big problem that wasn't easy to explain. The New Jersey State Police, especially Detective Flamer, looked into what was found. Flamer told all of Atlantic City's casinos that there might be a clever operation making fake money. Casinos were told to keep a closer eye on things and report any strange behavior. One night, security cameras at Bally's Atlantic City caught a man using $10 tokens without complaining when they didn't work. This was a strange thing for him to do. The machine was checked out and found to have more than 200 fake tokens in it. The cops knew who it was, but not his name. Colavecchio was somewhere Detective Flamer was keen to find. He thought the suspect would soon go back to another casino, and it turned out that he was right. After only 48 hours, Flamer saw Colavecchio at another casino. Colavecchio cashed out his tokens and fled into the night while Flamer called for help. But this time, the cops had a very important clue. Colavecchio was driving a car. With this tip, they were able to find out who he was and knew what they were dealing with. Colavecchio's complicated plan was beginning to fall apart, but he still didn't know how close the police were to finding him. With his identity revealed, Colavecchio's days were numbered. Detective Flamer reached out to the Rhode Island Police Department, seeking to initiate a multi-state policing effort. However, he faced an unexpected hurdle. Under Rhode Island law, counterfeiting casino tokens did not constitute a criminal offense. This legal loophole provided Colavecchio with temporary protection. Despite this setback, Flamer remained vigilant. He knew that Colavecchio and Julie were likely to return to Atlantic City, driven by their greed and the allure of easy money. His patience paid off when the duo made the fateful decision to hit Atlantic City one last time. As Colavecchio approached the cashier to cash in his tokens, he heard the words he had been dreading. "Mr. Colavecchio, please step away from the counter." He had finally been caught. Transporting counterfeit tokens across state lines was a federal offense, and Colavecchio was charged with violating trademark law and interstate trafficking of counterfeit goods. The authorities raided his workshop, uncovering a treasure trove of evidence, including 123 dies, an EDM machine, and an industrial press. They also found detailed instructions for producing counterfeit tokens. Faced with overwhelming evidence, Colavecchio's friend Al turned state's witness to avoid prison time. His testimony helped secure a conviction, and Colavecchio was sentenced to 7 years in prison. Julie also faced charges but received a lesser sentence. Even after serving his time, Colavecchio couldn't resist the lure of counterfeiting. He was arrested again by the FBI for similar offenses, proving that old habits die hard. You will find Louis Colavecchio's story very interesting. It is about creativity, passion, and how far someone will go to reach their goals. This also acts as a reminder of how even the safest platforms can be broken into. Even though casinos use high-tech equipment and strict security measures, Colavecchio was able to take advantage of weaknesses and avoid being caught for years thanks to his careful planning and skill. How he was able to stay out of trouble for so long makes us wonder how many other holes are in systems we think are safe. What can be done to stop plans like this from happening again? Still, these questions are in existence. Colavecchio passed away in July 2020 due to health complications, leaving behind a legacy as one of the most notorious counterfeiters in history. His story continues to intrigue and inspire curiosity, not just for the audacity of his crimes, but also for the meticulousness and dedication he displayed in his pursuit. In the end, Colavecchio's tale is a stark reminder of the thin line between genius and criminality. His skills as a craftsman, if channeled differently, could have earned him legitimate success and recognition. Instead, his obsession led him down a path of deception and ultimately downfall. Even today, some of Colavecchio's counterfeit tokens are believed to still be in circulation, a testament to the quality of his work. His story has become a part of casino lore, a cautionary tale for both casino operators and would-be criminals. Casinos have since implemented even more advanced security measures to detect counterfeit tokens and prevent similar schemes. However, Colavecchio's story continues to show how important it is to be alert and come up with new ways to deal with problems as they appear. What do you think? Is there any possibility that such types of fraud are going on? Let us know in the comments and subscribe to our channel to learn more about cases like these that have actually happened in history and that we might be unfamiliar with.